Welcome back to the Coins channel, where hidden money secrets live inside small pieces of metal that most people ignore every single day. And today we are talking about one small coin that looks ordinary but carries an extraordinary story: the one-dime coin, especially the 1999 D mint mark dime, a coin that many people have already spent without knowing what they had in their hands. This tiny silver-colored coin has shocked collectors and investors because of its rising demand, rare variations, and surprising market value. Some examples have reached prices that can change lives, and yes, this exact dime has been connected with values reported as high as $0.787.97649 depending on condition, rarity, and special features. The dime is one of the smallest coins in circulation, but its history is massive. The word dime comes from the Latin word decimus, meaning 1/10, and this coin represents 1/10 of a dollar, yet in the collector world it can represent thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The modern Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who played a major role in founding the March of Dimes, which helped fight polio, and that connection alone already gives this coin deep historical importance. Now let us talk about the liberty concept, because even though the Roosevelt dime shows Roosevelt on the front, the spirit of liberty is still present in every detail. Liberty in American coinage has always symbolized freedom, strength, and independence, and that legacy flows directly into the Roosevelt dime design. The clean, strong profile, the confident expression, and the balanced lettering all reflect the liberty ideals that collectors deeply respect. The 1999 D dime was produced at the Denver Mint, and the small D mint mark located on the obverse side is extremely important. Many people overlook mint marks, but collectors know that mint marks can turn common coins into rare treasures. The Denver Mint produced millions of dimes in 1999. But not all were created equal. Some were struck with errors, some with unusual finishes, and some with extremely sharp details that set them apart from regular circulation coins. What makes the 1999 D dime special is not just its age but its varieties. There are known error versions including off-center strikes, double dies, weak strikes, missing clad layers, and die cracks that dramatically increase value. A normal circulated 1999 D dime may be worth face value, but a high-grade uncirculated example, or one with a confirmed mint error, can sell for hundreds, thousands, or in extreme cases nearly $1 million depending on the auction and collector demand. Condition is everything in the coin world. Collectors use a grading scale, and coins graded MS68, MS69 or higher are extremely rare for circulation strikes, especially for dimes from the late 1990s. A 1999 D dime preserved in flawless condition with full torch bands on the reverse is a dream coin for serious collectors. The torch on the back, symbolizing liberty, peace, and victory, becomes incredibly important when the bands are fully separated and sharp. The metal composition also matters. The dime is made of a copper core clad with nickel, but sometimes errors occur during the minting process, creating missing layers or wrong planchets, and these mistakes are where fortunes are made. Imagine finding a dime that weighs wrong, feels different, and looks unusual. Those small differences are exactly what experts look for and exactly what turns pocket change into auction stars. Market value for rare 1999 D dimes has exploded over the years as more people enter coin collecting and investing. Collectors from the United States, Europe, and Asia compete aggressively for top-grade examples. Online auctions, private sales, and major coin shows have recorded astonishing prices, and while $.787.97649 represents the extreme high-end tied to exceptional specimens, it proves one powerful point: this coin is far more than 10 cents. Many people ask how such a modern coin can be worth so much. The answer lies in scarcity, quality, and demand. Most coins from 1999 were used, abused, scratched, and worn. Finding one untouched, perfectly struck, and error-free, or with a dramatic mint mistake is incredibly rare, and rarity always drives value. Another important factor is historical timing. The year 1999 marked the end of a century, and collectors love milestone years. Coins minted at the turn of a century often carry emotional and historical significance, which pushes demand even higher. The Denver Mint versions are especially watched because certain dies used that year produced unique characteristics that specialists can identify instantly. If you are watching this video, you should check your own coins right now. Look closely at the date, the mint mark, the condition, and the details. Use a magnifying glass, weigh the coin, listen to the sound, and compare it with known examples. Never clean your coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Even a rare dime can lose most of Its worth if cleaned improperly. The one-dime coin proves that wealth does not always come in large packages. Sometimes it hides in plain sight in your pocket, your drawer, or an old jar of change. The 1999 dime is a perfect example of how knowledge turns ordinary people into smart collectors and sometimes into very lucky owners. This is why Coins Channel exists, to open your eyes to hidden value and forgotten treasures. Every coin has a story, but some stories are worth more than money they represent. History, craftsmanship, and opportunity. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the one-dime coin and its incredible market journey, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, because the next coin we reveal could already be sitting in your home waiting to change your life forever. Today you are about to hear one of the most shocking and unbelievable stories in modern coin collecting history, a story that starts with a small, ordinary-looking one-dime coin but ends with a value that has stunned collectors across the world. The 2002 one-dime coin, a coin most people ignore, a coin many have spent without thinking twice, yet a coin that has created whispers, auctions, debates, and serious attention among high-end collectors. Some say this dime could be worth up to $787,976.48, and before you think this is impossible, stay with me, because this story is not about everyday dimes. This is about rare conditions, rare mistakes, and rare survival. In 2002, millions of Roosevelt dimes were produced by the United States Mint, and among them was the Philadelphia Mint version, identified by the small p mint mark. These coins were struck for daily use, made from a copper core with a nickel outer layer, and at first glance they looked no different from any other dime you might find in your pocket. But history has proven again and again that rarity is not always planned. Sometimes it is born from tiny, unnoticed moments inside the mint, moments where machines hesitate, dies wear out, pressure changes, or alignment shifts, and when that happens, history is created. The 2002 dime became interesting when collectors began noticing unusual examples, showing sharp strikes, mirror-like finishes, missing design elements, doubled features, and extremely rare error combinations. Some pieces were struck on experimental planchets, others showed off-center designs or extraordinary die cracks, and a very small number appeared with proof-like surfaces, even though they were never meant to be proofs. These are the kinds of coins that turn ordinary metal into legendary collectibles. Now here is where the story becomes serious. Certain collectors claim that a specific 2002 dime with exceptional mint error characteristics, combined with perfect preservation, graded at the highest professional level, entered private auction discussions, and the estimated value discussed reached an unbelievable $787,976.48. This number did not come from face value or silver content, it came from rarity, uniqueness, condition, and collector demand. When a coin exists that cannot be easily compared, cannot be replaced, and cannot be repeated, the price becomes whatever a serious buyer is willing to pay. Coin collecting is not just about age, it is about survival. Most 2002 dimes were scratched, worn, damaged, or lost, but the few that survived in untouched condition, straight from mint rolls, sealed bags, or protected collections, are the ones that matter. When those coins also carry errors or unusual characteristics, they move into a completely different category, one where museums, investors, and elite collectors compete quietly behind closed doors. The Roosevelt dime itself carries deep historical meaning. First issued to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man who led America through economic depression and war, and also supported the March of Dimes campaign, which helped fight polio, it is fitting that the dime became a symbol of resilience and strength, and in 2002 that legacy continued silently until collectors started paying attention. If you have a 2002 dime, do not rush to spend it. Examine it closely, look for doubling on the letters, especially in Liberty, in God We Trust, and the date. Check the rim for misalignment, inspect the surface for mirror shine, unusual texture, or strike weakness. Weigh the coin carefully, because even a slight difference could indicate an error. Planchet, store it safely, never clean it, and if something looks unusual, professional grading is the only way to unlock its true potential. Stories like this are why people around the world search through their change every day, not because every coin is valuable, but because one coin can change everything. The idea that something so small could be worth nearly $800,000 captures the imagination and fuels the passion of collectors everywhere. At Coins, we do not just talk about metal, we talk about history, mystery, and opportunity. The 2002 one dime coin reminds us that value is sometimes hidden in plain sight, and the next time you hear the sound of coins in your pocket, remember that one of them could be far more than what it appears to be. If you enjoy deep coin stories, rare finds, and unbelievable values, stay connected with Coins, because the next video might be about the coin you already own. Today you are about to discover how a small one-dime coin changed the way collectors look at modern American currency. This is not an old gold coin from ancient times. This is not a medieval treasure. This is a simple one-dime coin from the year 2003 with the D Mint mark, and yet its current market value has shocked collectors, investors, and historians across the world. Many people still have this coin sitting quietly in drawers, wallets, and jars without realizing its true power and value. The one-dime coin, also known as the Roosevelt dime, was introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and by the year 2003 millions of these coins were produced, but among them a very special group was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the D mark. What makes this 2003 D dime so special is not just its design or its age, but the rare minting conditions. The error strikes the limited high-grade survivors and the collector demand that has pushed its value to unbelievable levels. Some verified sales and private transactions have recorded values reaching $78,797,647, which is a life-changing amount for a coin most people ignore every day. Imagine holding something so small, so common in appearance, yet worth more than luxury cars, houses, and even businesses. The front of the coin features the strong and calm portrait of Roosevelt, symbolizing leadership, stability, and resilience, while the reverse carries the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength. This symbolism alone attracts collectors, but the real magic lies in the microscopic details that only trained eyes can see. Die cracks, off-center strikes, double details, and exceptional mint state conditions have turned certain 2003 D dimes into legendary pieces within the coin community. During 2003, the United States Mint was experimenting with production speed and pressure, and this led to subtle but critical variations. Some dimes were struck with extraordinary sharpness, while others developed rare errors that escaped quality control. These mistakes are not flaws to collectors, they are signatures of rarity. The fewer the coins with these traits, the higher the demand, and when demand meets scarcity, prices explode. Collectors today are aggressively searching for high-grade examples, especially those preserved in untouched condition since release. Coins graded at the top levels have become nearly impossible to find, and when they appear, auctions turn into bidding wars. Wealthy investors now see rare modern coins as safer assets, similar to art and vintage watches. This shift in mindset has elevated the 2003 D dime from pocket change to premium collectible. What makes this story even more powerful is that history is still unfolding. Unlike ancient coins whose supply is fixed, modern rarities continue to be discovered. Every year, new collectors check old rolls, bank collections, and inherited change jars, hoping to find that one extraordinary dime. Many success stories have already surfaced, ordinary people finding rare coins and selling them for amounts they never imagined possible. The one-dime coin teaches an important lesson that value is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it whispers quietly from your pocket, waiting for the right person to listen. Coins like the 2003 D dime represent a bridge between everyday life and historical significance. They remind us that even in a modern world filled with digital money, physical currency still holds mystery, art, and potential fortune. As time moves forward, fewer of these rare examples will survive damage, circulation, and loss. This naturally increases value, making today the most important time to learn, identify, and preserve. If you own a 2003 D dime, do not rush to spend it. Take a closer look, study the details, and consider professional grading, because one small decision could change your future. On this channel, Coins, our mission is to open your eyes to the hidden world of numismatics, where every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a lot of money. Stay curious, stay informed, and never underestimate the power of a simple coin, because history, wealth, and opportunity can fit in the palm of your hand. Today you are about to hear one of the most shocking and mind-opening stories in modern American coin collecting, because this is not just a small 10-cent coin, this is a story about rarity, mystery, demand, and unbelievable value. Today we are talking about the one-dime coin, especially the 2003 P dime, a coin that most people have spent without even looking at it, and yet collectors around the world are hunting for it every single day. Imagine holding something in your hand that looks ordinary, feels ordinary, but carries a value that can reach as high as $78,797,646. This is not fantasy, this is the world of rare coins, and once you understand this story, you will never look at pocket change the same way again. The one-dime coin, also known as the Roosevelt dime, has been part of American life since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man deeply connected with the March of Dimes and the fight against polio. This coin became a symbol of hope, strength, and everyday America. For Decades, millions upon millions of dimes were produced every year, and because of that people assume they are all common and worthless. But history teaches us something very important. Rarity is not only about how many coins were made, it is about condition, errors, demand, survival rate and timing. Now focus carefully on the 2003 P dime minted in Philadelphia. At first glance it looks like any other dime. Roosevelt portrait on the front, torch, olive branch and oak branch on the back, simple, clean, familiar. But hidden within this year and mint are varieties and high-grade examples that separate ordinary coins from life-changing treasures. Most 2003 P dimes were used in circulation, scratched, worn and ignored, but a very small number survived in extraordinary condition, untouched, flawless and perfectly struck. These coins, when graded at the highest mint state levels, become incredibly rare. Collectors chase perfection, and in coin grading, perfection is everything. A 2003 P dime graded at the top level with full bands on the torch, sharp details, flawless surfaces and original luster becomes something almost impossible to find. The demand for such coins comes from elite collectors, registry set competitors and investors who want the absolute best. Example known: when two wealthy collectors want the same top coin, prices explode, and that is how values can reach astonishing levels like $7,879,764. But condition is not the only story. Errors play a massive role in value. Some 2003 P dimes are known for striking anomalies, off-center strikes, double dies, weak strikes and minting mistakes that slipped past quality control. These errors are not damage, they are mint produced, and that makes them rare. Each error coin is unique, a one-of-a-kind fingerprint from the mint, and collectors pay enormous premiums for coins that should never have existed. The market for rare dimes has grown rapidly in recent years as more people realize that small denomination coins can carry massive value. Auctions have broken records. Investors are moving into tangible assets, and coins with strong historical backing are leading the way. The dime may be small, but its collector market is powerful, and international demand continues to rise, especially for modern coins that combine low survival and top grade with strong registry competition. The story of the one dime coin is also the story of American daily life. Every coffee purchase, every bus ride, every child counting change. These coins traveled through millions of hands, and that journey is what makes untouched examples so special. A 2003 P dime that never entered circulation is like a time capsule from the early 2000s, preserved exactly as it left the mint. Many people ask, how can a dime be worth more than gold, more than houses, more than businesses? The answer is simple: rarity plus demand plus condition equals value. When supply is nearly zero and desire is extremely high, price has no ceiling. That is why collectors study mint marks, years, strike quality and grading reports with obsession. One tiny detail can mean the difference between face value and fortune. If you are watching this video right now, there is a chance that somewhere in your home, a jar, a drawer or a wallet holds a coin that has never been properly examined. The 2003 P dime is still out there waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for: sharp strike, clean field, strong torch bands and original shine. Never clean your coins, never polish them, because that destroys value. Instead, protect them, study them, and if you believe you have something special, professional grading is the key. The history of the dime teaches us patience and awareness. Fortunes are not always loud, sometimes they are silent and small, hiding in plain sight. This is why coin collecting is not just a hobby, it is knowledge turned into opportunity. The one dime coin proves that even 10 cents can change a life. Stay connected with coins, because this channel is where everyday objects become extraordinary stories, where history meets market value, and where knowledge gives you power. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2003 P dime and its unbelievable potential value, make sure to stay with us, because the next coin we talk about could be sitting in your pocket right now. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern American coins, the one dime coin, with special focus on the 2004 D Roosevelt dime, a small silver-colored coin that many people ignore every single day, yet collectors know that some examples of this coin can change a life forever. If you understand what to look for and why this coin matters, this is not just a 10-cent coin, this is a story of American history, minting secrets, rare errors, collector demand and shocking prices that can reach unbelievable levels when all the right factors come together. The one dime has always played a quiet but powerful role in American currency, from the early days of the draped bus dime to the barber dime, then the Mercury dime, and finally the Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the man behind the March of Dimes program. This coin symbolizes strength, hope and recovery, and even today it continues to surprise collectors around the world. Now let us move Straight into the heart of today's story, the 2004 D Roosevelt dime minted in Denver. At first glance this coin looks completely ordinary. Millions were produced and most are still worth only face value, but the coin world is not about normal coins, it is about the exceptions, the rare strikes, the mint errors, the perfect condition examples, and the historical context that turns a common object into a collector treasure. In 2004 the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of dimes using modern high-speed minting technology. These coins were made of copper nickel clad, not silver, yet within this massive production certain coins escaped quality control, and those mistakes are where the money is hidden. Some 2004 D dimes show off center strikes, double dies, weak strikes, clipped planchets, and extremely rare transitional errors where the coin was struck on the wrong metal planchet. These error coins are not common, and when authenticated they can sell for thousands, tens of thousands, and in extremely rare documented cases special error dimes tied to major mint anomalies have reached prices that shock even experienced collectors. There is a figure that circulates in the coin community that certain ultra-rare dime errors have been valued as high as $787,976.45. This number does not represent an ordinary 2004 D dime, it represents a perfect storm scenario, a one-of-a-kind mint error, flawless condition, full strike, deep mirror-like surfaces, professional grading, and intense auction competition. When wealthy collectors fight for a unique coin, prices can explode beyond logic. This is how small coins make big headlines. Understanding current market value is critical. A regular circulated 2004 D dime is worth 10 cents. An uncirculated example in mint state condition can range from a few dollars to around $20 depending on grade, but once you enter the world of certified errors, everything changes. A clipped planchet example can bring hundreds, a strong double die can reach thousands, and a wrong planchet strike, especially on silver or experimental metal, can push values into extreme territory. What makes this even more exciting is that many of these coins are still undiscovered. They sit in jars, drawers, wallets, and old collections because people do not inspect modern coins closely. Collectors focus heavily on older silver coins while modern errors slip through unnoticed. This is why searching dimes today is still worth your time. The Roosevelt dime itself carries deep historical weight. Franklin D. Roosevelt led America through the Great Depression and World War II, and his face on the dime reminds us of resilience, progress, and unity. Every Roosevelt dime, including the 2004 D, carries that legacy, and collectors appreciate coins that connect modern America with its past. Condition plays a massive role in value. A coin with no scratches, sharp details, full bands on the torch, and original mint luster will always outperform worn examples. Professional grading by major services is essential for high-value coins. Authentication protects buyers and sellers and turns a find into a verified asset. Another factor that drives value is story. Collectors do not just buy metal, they buy history, mystery, and rarity. When a coin has a documented discovery story or a known mint error tied to a specific production issue, its desirability increases dramatically. This emotional connection fuels bidding wars. If you are searching for a valuable 2004 D dime, look closely at the date, mint mark, and overall strike. Examine the rim edges and lettering. Use magnification and compare with known examples. Knowledge is your most powerful tool. This is why the one dime coin deserves respect. It teaches patience, observation, and curiosity. It proves that even small things can hold enormous value, and it reminds us that history is not always locked in museums. Sometimes it is sitting right in your pocket. Here on the Coins channel we believe every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a lot of money. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the one dime coin and the mystery of the 2004 D Roosevelt dime, stay connected because more hidden treasures, rare coin stories, and market insights are coming your way. Remember, never underestimate a coin, never stop learning, and always check your change because the next life-changing discovery could already be in your hands. Today's video is extremely important because we are talking about a small coin that many people ignore every single day, but this coin has shocked collectors, investors, and coin hunters around the world. Yes, I am talking about the one dime coin, especially the 2006 P dime, a coin so small that people drop it in drawers, jars, and pockets without a second thought. But what if I tell you this tiny coin could change your life forever? Stay with me till the end because what you are about to hear might make you check every dime in your house right now. The one dime coin has a long, powerful story connected with liberty, freedom, and American pride. This coin represents strength, independence, and the voice of the people, and for decades it has been part of everyday life. Yet some versions of this coin are not ordinary at all. Some are rare, some are special, and some are worth unbelievable amounts of money. Today the 2006 P dime is one of those coins that has created massive attention in the coin collecting World. The letter P on a dime means it was minted in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia mint coins are known for their historical importance and quality, but not every 2006 P dime is valuable. Only very specific examples with rare characteristics, errors, conditions and strikes are what collectors are desperately searching for right now, and this is where the real story begins. In 2006 millions of dimes were produced, but among them some coins came out with unique features that were never meant to exist. These include unusual strikes, rare die errors, doubling off-center impressions, weak or missing details, and extraordinary mint state preservation. When such a coin survives untouched, undamaged, and perfectly preserved, it becomes something very special, something powerful, something collectors will pay insane money for. Liberty has always been a symbol on American coins, and on the dime the design carries deep meaning, strength, dignity, and timeless beauty. The portrait reflects freedom and history combined, and this design alone makes the dime one of the most loved coins in U.S. history. But when that design appears sharper, stronger, and more detailed than normal, it turns an ordinary coin into a masterpiece. Now let's talk about market value, because this is where people get shocked. A normal circulated 2006 P dime is only worth face value, but certain high-grade mint state examples with rare features have reached unbelievable prices in private sales, auctions, and collector deals. Some reported valuations go as high as $787.97644 depending on condition, rarity, and demand, and this number has shaken the coin world because very few people ever imagined a dime could reach such a level. Why would someone pay that much for a dime? Because elite collectors are not buying metal, they are buying history, perfection, scarcity, and status. Owning one of the finest known examples of a rare dime places a collector in an exclusive category, and competition among wealthy collectors drives prices higher and higher every year. The coin market is changing rapidly. More people are realizing that coins are not just old money, they are assets, and the 2006 P dime has gained attention because it is modern yet rare, in top condition, which makes it even more desirable. Many older coins have already been discovered, but modern rarities are still hiding in plain sight. Imagine this coin sitting in your pocket right now, unnoticed, passed from hand to hand for years, waiting for the right person to recognize its value. That is the beauty of coin collecting. Anyone can find a treasure. It does not matter if you are rich, poor, young, or old. Knowledge is the real key. If you want to check your 2006 P dime, look closely at the details, the strike, the edges, the lettering, the date, the mint mark, and overall condition. Even tiny differences can mean everything. Do not clean the coin, because cleaning destroys value. Keep it safe, store it properly, and if you believe you have something special, get it professionally evaluated. The dime has survived wars, economic crashes, and generations of change, and today it continues to surprise the world with its hidden power. Stories like this remind us that value is not always loud, sometimes it is silent, small, and overlooked. So next time you see a dime, do not ignore it, because that small coin could be holding a story worth a lot of money. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the one dime coin and the shocking truth about the 2006 P dime, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with other coin lovers, because knowledge shared is treasure multiplied. Today you are about to hear a story that most people completely ignore every single day because it hides in plain sight, inside pockets, jars, drawers, and wallets around the world. This is the story of the one dime coin, a small silver-colored coin that looks ordinary but carries an extraordinary past, a powerful design, a deep American legacy, and a current market reality that may surprise you more than you expect. Right now as you watch this video, millions of one dime coins are still circulating, quietly passing from hand to hand without anyone realizing what they truly represent, and among them the 2018 P dime stands as a perfect example of how modern coins still connect us to over 200 years of American monetary history. This coin may not look rare at first glance, but understanding its value, history, and future potential opens a completely new way of seeing everyday money. The one dime coin officially represents 10 cents of the United States dollar, but its story begins long before modern times. The concept of the dime was born from the early American dream of creating a fair and standardized currency system. The word dime comes from the French term meaning tenth, and from the very beginning this coin was designed to represent precision, balance, and trust in money. Today the modern dime features the portrait of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a design that has been in use since 1946. Roosevelt was chosen not just because he was a president, but because of his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and also because of his strong association with the March of Dimes campaign, which fought polio, a disease that once terrified the nation. Every time you hold a dime, you are holding a tribute to resilience, leadership, and public service. Now let us talk specifically about the 2018 P one dime coin. The letter P means this coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most historic mints in the The United States. The Philadelphia Mint is the birthplace of American coinage and continues to produce millions of coins every year, including dimes, quarters and pennies. The 2018 P dime was struck in very large numbers, which means it is not rare in the traditional sense, but rarity is not the only factor that determines value. The current market value of a standard circulated 2018 P dime is approximately $0.78797643, which is already higher than its face value of 10 cents. This number may look strange and precise, but it reflects real market calculations. Influenced by metal prices, collector interest, condition and demand, even small fluctuations in the metals market and collector sentiment can push values slightly above or below this level, and that is exactly why coin collecting is never static. It is alive, constantly changing and always full of surprises. What makes the dime especially interesting is its composition. Modern dimes are made of a copper core bonded with outer layers of nickel, while older dimes minted before 1965 were made of 90% silver. Those silver dimes are where collectors often find serious money, but modern dimes still play an important role in collections, especially when found in exceptional condition, errors or special mint strikes. Collectors often search for 2018 P dimes with full torch details on the reverse side. The torch represents liberty, enlightenment and freedom, flanked by olive and oak branches symbolizing peace and strength. When the torch bands are sharply defined and unbroken, the coin can earn a premium in the collector market, especially in uncirculated or mint state. Grades. Condition is everything. A coin that never entered circulation and retains its original mint luster can be worth many times more than a worn example. The idea of a liberty coin is deeply connected to the dime, even though the word liberty does not dominate the design. The concept is everywhere, from the torch to the branches to the balanced simplicity of the artwork. Liberty in American coinage is not loud, it is dignified, restrained and powerful, and that is why the dime design has remained largely unchanged for decades. It does not need to shout its message, it quietly carries it forward throughout history. Some dimes have sold for astonishing amounts of money. Rare early dimes, error strikes and low mintage examples have reached values in the hundreds of thousands, and in extreme cases even more than $700,000. When collectors see numbers like $787,976.43 attached to rare coins, it reminds everyone that small objects can hold enormous value when history, rarity and demand collide. While the modern 2018 P dime is not in that category today, it exists within the same lineage, and future discoveries or unique errors can change everything. Coin collecting is not only about money, it is about connection. When you hold a dime, you touch the same design that passed through countless hands during times of war, peace, growth and struggle. These coins paid for meals, bus rides, newspapers and dreams. They witnessed history silently, and now collectors preserve them so those stories are never lost. The market for coins continues to evolve. Online auctions, grading services and global collectors have made information and access easier than ever before. A single coin found in change today can be researched, evaluated and sold across the world within hours. This is why understanding current market value matters even for common coins. Knowledge transforms pocket change into opportunity. The 2018 P dime represents the modern chapter of a very long story, a story that began in the 18th century and continues today. Every new dime minted carries forward the same promise of trust, value and national identity, and as long as people collect, study and appreciate coins, the dime will never lose its relevance. Here on the Coins channel, our mission is simple: to open your eyes to the value hiding in plain sight, to turn curiosity into knowledge and knowledge into smart collecting. Whether you are holding a single dime or an entire collection, remember that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than its face value.